these side lanes, and it kind of buys into that scrap mentality that we want to see RNG play with, right? Going for fights a little bit earlier than they did last time against Ultra Prime.
As well, and they continue. However, they are looking for a dive. Milky Way has come back with pretty high HP.
Oh, that's already first blood. Picked up here for Tarzan. It is traded 1-for-1 as Milky Way able to secure the trade. Teleport is coming in, though. That is Tongyoan looking to join the fray and make it a numbers advantage for RNG. Kyle has to flash away.
Right here, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Tarzan actually beeline through that mid lane. The TP will also come through from Flandre with his first back as well. However, I think the Void Grabs might already be long gone, so Tarzan's just actually going to look towards the bottom of the map, place a ward over in the Tri-Brush. You see, KL and Hope have absolute dominance over the bottom of the map, and is to be expected, especially when you draft for Renata Kalista.
Especially with Tarzan spending so much time down here as well, right? Looking for another potential dive on the bottom lane.
No
Tachi
flash.
Still doesn't have his flash, although the barrier is back up. We'll see who starts the initial engage. It looks like it's going to be Tarzan dashing forward first when it becomes lightning, and the knockup does connect. There's the Fate Sealed as well. Really nicely timed from Hope as they juggle the turret aggro perfectly, and that results in Jachi going down without a flash. Now, in the bottom side as well, looks like the knockup onto Shanks connects, and at least Xiaoshu able to get one back.
In favor of AL.
Yeah, so no opportunity for RNG to fight a 5v5 around these grubs, as you mentioned. So looks like Tarzan should be able to at least even things up at 3-3 in that department, and maybe even look for more, as Niket might be caught out a little bit here. Nice dodge away from the handshake, and he's going to be able to get a nice chunk onto Hope to prevent any further retaliation. But it is the top side right now, dominated by AL. The Dragon, though, has just spawned, and we'll see what RNG want to do around there.
Around as well, and this is what AL are going to have to deal with for the rest of the game, right? They're going to have to actually count their creeps as Tangyeon takes a huge chunk of damage from that Rumble.
And now Tarzan here as well. Oh man, the overheated Flame Spitter just does so much, even to the champion that's supposed to counter him. Taunt comes out, shield Duran, but Tarzan's going to be able to match it very nicely with the dash forward and force the flash out of the Galio. That is now priority on the bottom half of the map for AL. As
this
the
ease of execution in the early neutral objectives is going to be a little bit scary. Tangyeon is around, maybe the 50-50. Oh my god, the legend! The legend!
That's against a Callista. You just yoinked that away.
The legend! So that is a flash down on the rise and a barrier down onto Hope's Callista. The TP is being pulled on the bottom of the map. The Galio's arriving.
Oh wow, Kyle already getting locked down here. Equalizer comes above from Flandre. However, will it be enough? Hero's Entrance comes out alongside the public execution, and that's an overheated Rumble getting taunted up by the Galio and taken down. RNG winning the team fight. They've already gotten themselves 3. And now Shanks on the run, going to try to jump into the Realm Warp, but Tongyoan's going to match it. Ooh. Land that shield of Duran, the Justice Punch, knock him all which ways, and allow for Milky Way to finish the triple kill.
Kill is going over to RNG. And if it depended on their shoulders to take that victory, RNG are in a pretty good way to get there.
We'll be down for that.
I would say this is a pretty good trade right here for RNG because Zinza ult and Renata ult together. Oh, equalizer.
Oh, hold on, Niket just gets caught out here. Really nicely done by Flandre to land that equalizer. However, the matchup is going to get it sniped away as Kyle will go down in response. It's both supports out of the picture. It's a 4v4 opening up now on the map. Xiaoshu playing very aggressive here, but not wanting to go too far forward.
Available very, very soon. 12 seconds. Can you make it work?
Okay, both supports rejoining the party now as the Dragon's already at half HP. I don't know if AL really want to contest this right now. They are not going very far forward. Tarzan's going to have to get in there soon if he wants to try to go for another flip. It went Milky Way's way last time. Will it happen again for this third Dragon of the game? 3,500. They are stalling things out. Teleport coming in. It's going to be a teleport from Flandre just to try to get some priority in the mid lane, but the Dragon has been seated. But now Milky Way could be caught out. When it becomes lightning, does not connect. And that is enough, at least for the disengage to begin. Mid-tier 1, now the target for anyone's Legends, and they'll pick it up with ease.
Yeah, that is actually a huge pickup right here from AL. Oh, the equalizer.
Is that going to be
RNG.
Anything more than just the ultimate for some poke? It looks like, yes, Niket lands a 3-man pop blossom, but he will get bursted down. A really nice Renata ultimate finds 2, and it should result in Xiaoshu falling. Kyle over the wall with the Fate's Call as well. Very aggressive from AL. But it will result in them getting 2 kills.
Disengage, they go caught in their jungle in a choke point. Flandre finds the angle for a fantastic equalizer. And right, minute and a half until the next Dragon, and I'm looking at the bottom of the map. Xiaoshu is left all alone on his own devices. They will potentially trade top lane and bot lane turrets right here, and it's exactly what's going to happen. However, They will not have the setup right there, so they would rather not take the 50-50 and play potentially set up some vision on the tops of the map and take that top lane tier 1 for themselves.
For RNG to try to go for this fight, the Baron has been started up for AL. Keeping an eye on Tarzan, try to land that smite. It's already down to half HP. Milky Way is in the area though, has flash, has the dash, has every opportunity to try to make this a flip. Equalizer comes out. Here comes Milky Way, and the engage is huge. A 4-man pop blossom of the Baron is secured by AL. Hero's entrance goes on top. Xiaoshu looking to join the party, already 2 for nothing. And Jachi is able to rip apart the back line. Already 4 kills. They're looking for the 5th, but Flandre is able to escape. It's the Baron going over to AL, but the team fight in favor of RNG.
5 members of AL entered, 1 comes out alive with a Baron buff to tell the tale, and it is Flandre. RNG, what a fantastic wombo combo found again from the side of Milky Way, and you can see how those very short-range champions, the Rumble, the Rise, the Kalista, really do struggle into that heavy engage that RNG have drafted for themselves. Baron going over to AL, but it is RNG taking 3 towers and 4 kills.
Going for the flip, they might instead just try to lock down this tier 2. Remember,
Baron.
Flandre still has that Baron buff for another 10 seconds. It will allow for that turret to go down. They could even look for a second.
Oh, surely not. Surely not. Surely you're not taking Inhibitor Tower as RNG are securing the 3rd dragon of the game. AL, what a fantastic quick macro play on the map. Let's see if RNG can actually find some sort of flank. It's not going to be the case.
He's in full vision, but it would still be a massive flank for RNG if he's able to find it. The Wukong is hunting. He's hungry. He's looking for hope. The knockup doesn't connect on the first try, but the public execution will. On to Tarzan, and the Jin Zhao is already down. Niket not able to do much with the Pop Blossom. Taunted up is Flandre, and the overheated Rumble will likely go down with the Justice Punch connecting. Flandre will go golden. However, Kyle and Hope are still very strong. Flandre will get the bailout, but will finally fall in response. A 3-man taunt from Tong Yuan might be enough here for RNG. Shanks will die, but look at Hope. He's still full HP. He lands the spear, and there's not enough damage on RNG to let the Kalista live.
With that late game, and Tarzan is gonna stick around, but he is pretty lonely right now. His team is pressuring that mid lane wave. Milky Way, can you take that 50-50 one more time?
Big poke, big engage. Look at the ultimate here from Milky Way. It lands on Hope as well. Combined with that Pop Blossom might be enough. Hope still doing a lot of damage and not going down just yet. And Niket is the first casualty in the fight, but AL have gotten one back onto Milky Way. It is so far a 2-for-1. A 4v3 opened up on the map for anyone's Legends as Hope refuses to go down. He has turned into a monster here in this game.
If RNG do not stack their CC correctly, AL get out. And that's exactly what happened right here. It's so important for AL to not group up too much as they entered those neutral objectives. And AL were able to actually secure that teamfight victory. Wait, no smites available, so we could potentially see a steal right here.
Okay. They spotted it out. Again,
Tong
numbers
Yuan.
Advantage here for AL. Here comes Tong Yuan, only landing the taunt onto 1, and the Ren will secure the Baron, and another kill onto the Galio in these fights as well. You know, the Realm Warp to get over to the Baron quicker after the fight was already won, and then the Brain to just go and stop Tong Yuan from issuing that hero's entrance. That would have certainly meant Hope would die.
And I want you to very closely look at items as well. Hourglass, GA, Hourglass, GA. Who do you dive? How does Jachi press R and not end up in a very sticky situation where somebody goes into stasis from the side of AL? Now, this is a very tough cookie to crumble for RNG. They need to try and find targets that they can take down. The only one available right now is Tarzan, missing his GA for the time being. Can RNG pile up their CC properly to take AL down?
And there's not a lot of wave clear available for RNG, so it means that that tier 3 will fall. Now the inhibitor in the bottom lane could be the target. Niket throwing out that clone of the Wukong to at least make them a little bit worried. And it looks like that's the second inhibitor falling in favor of anyone's Legend. They have a big advantage over the map right now, although the gold is still only about 3,000, and there's still a lot of firepower on this RNG composition.
Find those 2 very key targets with the engage. This could very well be an RNG win into a straight up take that mid lane wave all the way to victory.
One last inhibitor left. Only 10 seconds on this Baron buff, so this is the last opportunity that they'll have with the empowered minions. Equalizer comes out as Flandre knows that they can try to pressure out RNG and claim this final inhibitor tier 3 turret. But RNG could have the opportunity to go for a re-engage. Milky Way was looking aggressively, but AL know better and will back out. Who picks it up? That's very big, especially specifically for AL, who right now are at risk of getting Kaisa W to Oblivion. That Mountain Soul going to help them a ton
Niket has the
in
flash.
that regard.
Niket has the
Niket
flash.
in a little bit of trouble here. Just gets knocked up. Not even going to use the Summoner Spell until maybe too late. He's only at 400 HP. Equalizer over it, and he back too early. Caught window shopping, and Flandre will make it a 4v5 on the map.
That was so greedy. You knew you were getting wrapped around both sides of this Wolf's Pit. There should have been an early flash coming through from Niket. Wasn't quite the case. And also, he does take away a lot of that threat of the re-engage together with the Wukong when you have that Nico. Now that is a triple Mountain Soul.
And soon to be all 3 inhibitors down, most likely, as RNG really turtled into their base right now. We're going to try to find an engage. Flash away from Hope to make sure that knockup doesn't connect, but the Pop Blossom will. Hope still, though, untouched on this backline, and anyone's Legends just ripping apart RNG at the moment. Milky will fall. The knockup connects onto Jachi, and the Kai'Sa will not be the savior of Royal Never Give Up this game. It is going to be anyone's Legends with a clean ace as they head towards the base and finish off the group stage at 5-1.
Fool them once. Shame on you. Fool them twice.